Hi, I'm Sèphera Girón, and I just want to read to you a little bit from my novel called Aquarius Haunted Heart. It's from the Witch Upon a Star series, which is being published by Riverdale Avenue Books. Today is the solstice, June 20th, and so today you can actually get this book, any of the Witch Upon a Star books, for 25% off at All Romance eBooks. That's just for today, June the 20th, 2016. Now, here is the reading, a little taste of Aquarius Haunted Heart. Chapter 1. Reflecting on your past will help you make wiser choices in the future. The heat of the sun bore down on her. She squinted against it, pushing her hands against the broad shoulders of the faceless stranger as his velvet tongue sought out her innermost desire. She spread her legs wider, allowing him deeper access with his fingers and mouth. The alarm clock buzzed. Madeline slapped it off with a groan. The dream image faded, but her urgent desire didn't. She curled up under the blankets, pressing her groin into the mattress until she made herself come. Another day had arrived. It was a cold February morning as Madeline stared at herself in the mirror. She had just emerged from a hot pounding shower, and it was the best time to indulge in a bit of self-scrutiny. It was a daily ritual, and one she imagined most people in North America performed. But unlike most people, after she had had her morning glance, she usually didn't bother looking at herself again until the next day. Even when she brushed her teeth, she often stared down into the sink instead of checking out her appearance. She often realized she didn't really look how she felt. With her birthday just past, Madeline still felt on the inside like a gawky, misinformed teenager. Yet, according to her birth certificate, she was now the ripe old age of 31. 31 and never married. 31, never even engaged. She had no one to blame but herself. And in looking into the mirror, she could see that though she didn't look as though she was in her 30s, she certainly was well past the gawky teenager stage of her life. Now she was a gawky over 30-year-old woman. She wasn't the best looking girl on the planet, but she wasn't the worst either. Her hips, thighs, and stomachs were a bit too round for her height, and who was to blame for that? No one but herself. Sitting at her desk for hours and hours made her round. Eating chocolate every few minutes helped. Her sugar addiction was going to kill her one day, or so she was told on a regular basis, by the media and by her friends. Her eyes were steel gray, and she had soft, light brown, wavy hair. She turned sideways, staring at her pendulous breasts and pear-shaped hips. She had to get back to the gym. Jessica, her trainer, was going to kill her for not sticking to it this time. It's just so hard to get exercise. The endless days sitting at the computer writing articles and books, and then skulking around haunted houses with recording devices didn't give her much time for anything else. Not for exercise and not for dating. She sucked in her stomach until it was almost flat. She ran her hand along it, imagining it toned and tanned like a model's. Imagination was all it ever would be. She'd never been that toned in her life, and at 31, she couldn't dream she'd ever have the focus and self-discipline it took to be truly buff. No more and no less than anyone else, when she really thought about it. She huffed out the stale air and ran her hands through her hair, pulling it on top of her head. Maybe if she wore ponytails, she'd look younger. Leaning closer to the mirror, she peered at the crow's feet lining her eyes. Character. Yes, she had character because she'd been through so much. Well, really, it's just like everyone else when she thought about it. But unlike many others, she held her wounds deep. Her heart ached constantly until sometimes she thought she couldn't take it anymore. Why did she ache so much? She wasn't sure if she believed in real love. In love? A true faithful love where there was no hurt, no cheating. She had never truly loved, she didn't think. not in a romantic love kind of way. Sure, she loved her parents, her relatives, puppies and kittens. That kind of love was easy for her. She loved the starving children in third world countries, the displaced flood victims in New Orleans, the shooting victims in Paris, and the orphans from September 11th. Her universal, unconditional love had no boundaries and no limits. She loved peace, not war. But these things were easy to love. These were ideas, abstract. They're emotions of hope and victory. But to love another human being, to fully trust another human being with her heart, with her mind, with her body, she didn't know if she was capable of that. She didn't know if any honest and true human was capable of that. For in her mind, love was an illusion. Love was a word made to be broken. Falling in love was just one short step from falling into despair. Giving oneself completely to another for a lifetime was against human nature. Logically, for no one could truly be committed and satisfied with one other person forever. Could they? She knew many people in long-term marriages who seemed happy, compatible, complementary, but she often wondered how much of it was a front for people like her, watching them, and how much bitterness and despair seeped behind closed doors. How often was the news full of shocking tragedies perpetrated by people who were so happy, so peaceful, so gentle, and of course the all-time favorite, kept to themselves. Happy faces to the public, nightmare existence behind the scenes. That was the stuff history was made of. Murderers, like Kelly Proctor. The more she delved into real-life mysteries, real-life haunting, the more cynical she grew about human nature, secrets, and the dreaded idea of love. She hadn't always been so bitter. And I'll leave it there for you.